I merely rescued this game from an abandoned shop at a person's house that had stuff all in there of all sorts, but here it was, this machine just nooked in the back corner, all by itself and alone. I knew the potential of this game. I knew that it could be salvageable. You don't see this game in great condition. It's getting harder and harder to even find the game. When people get this game, they are now holding on to it. And rightfully so. This game deserves the love. It's the art, the music, the unique layout, and of course, Lion Man! It was at this moment where I really understood how good of a conductor stainless steel is when it comes to heat. This game took me a long time to finish. But it didn't take long to sell. Swords of Fury is one of those games that I'm glad to see people making reproduction items for. Resurrecting this game was a task, but it was oh so satisfying at the same time. Thank you to everyone that joined in on this journey so far. I know some of you have been waiting for this patiently. This series has been going for a little over 2 years now. It's not that it took me 2 years to do it either. It was that I was doing other items and other machines at the same time. Not to mention, I was waiting on the hardtop to be released. But it's done. It's beautiful. And it's time to wrap this series up. You wanted it.
Challenge me!
You got it.
Found Power 1.
This Swords of Fury
Found Power 2.
has officially
Lion Man!
been saved. All we have left is the apron. The final piece that gets cleaned up. With new instruction cards too. We have come a long way, guys. I learned a lot during this restoration, and I hope you did too. There's going to be a couple of other bits of knowledge in this video, because it's a rare thing to completely disassemble a game, get it put back together, and it work 100%. And I'm going to go over why and how it was not 100%. This game is already sold. It was pending 1 hour after posting. Don't worry, this game wasn't meant to be a keeper for me. I still have my own Swords of Fury that I will give it the treatment eventually. After this game, I really needed something different, which so happens to be the game next to this one, Johnny. But now it's time to perform the test. If you have ever taken apart a game and put it back together, you know what this test is called. The smoke test. I powered the game off quickly because I was afraid I heard a coil lock on. Little did I know at the time, but I had already blown 2 fuses. No GI in the back box was my first indicator of a problem. I began troubleshooting and tracing wires. I didn't see any other GI bulbs out, so I knew the problem was on the back box. This was not an easy puzzle, but I found the issues eventually. The issue was found out to be one of the staples that was recently put back in after I redid the entire back. One of the staples that was really close to like around here, went through at an angle and was touching the base and basically causing a short to ground. So that's what the issue was, and it evidently did it on, there was a short on both lines because there's two separate GI lines back here, and it did a short on one and the other. So I had to go through each line wherever I saw a staple to try to figure out where the short was. I was like, where is this damn short? So it took a while, and I found it, and that solved that problem. So that fixed the back box GI issue on that. Let's talk about the side rails and what I'm going to be doing with these. These have been sitting out for, well, let's see, the years before I got the machine, including now the year and over a year that I've had it. These have been just kind of just sitting on the shelf waiting for me to do something with them. How we're going to clean these up is actually quite simple. They are not damaged, so that's always a big old thumbs up on that. But all it's going to take is some high grit sandpaper and some soapy water. I'm going to use 1200 grit actually, because it's not that scuffed up. So 1200 grit should be fine. And I'm going to go over it, give it a nice good scrubbing, get it all dried up, and then I'm going to hit it with the metal polish with the microfiber towel and get it all polished out, and it should come out pretty good. All right, finally got my LEDs in, so now I can finally finish this machine up. All right, let's do this. Okay, now that we are fully LED'd, I get to go through the machine and figure out why certain bulbs are or are not working.
Free the Titans!
Kind of strange. These seem kind of inconsistent down here. This one was always on, it seemed like. These two look like I may have a leaky diode somewhere. Interesting. So I'm going to look around, see if I got any kind of loose connections or something like that. Alright, we are currently on all lamps. Let me get this camera moved around a little better. That's on all lamps. Now notice how this particular column right here seems to be even brighter than the other ones as well. So let's move over to separate bulbs here. Alright, so now we're on single lamps. And as I go through, you're going to notice that instead of just one lamp right here, now we're on two. This is going to be 3, 4. So as you can see, I'm always getting that column is always going. So this is column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Column 5. Oh, it even tells you the top right here if I get the camera down enough, and you can see that, yeah, column 5 is shorted. Now, that's when you boot out your trusty dusty, whatever, your manual, and get out your lamp matrix, which is always going to be in the manual somewhere or another, and figure out which transistor controls column 5. Now, we're going to do that using our multimeter as well, but if you look on the manual for this particular game, this system, this is going to be Q58. Q58 is right here. This is the transistor. Hell, you can even see from this camera angle that this one in particular is even much darker than the others. So you've even got a visual sign of an issue. That's kind of funny. So this one right here is our bad apple more than likely. Now, there's always a possibility that up here on these chips and even all the way up to the PIAs, there could be an issue. But the chances are this is the most common issue when dealing with, your switch matrix or your lamp matrix, is your initial transistors right here. So this is more than likely the only problem. Hopefully it is. but I'm just stopping immediately at my first point right here, and that is this one right here. So let's get the board out and fix this transistor. All right, now let's say if the visualization of the tester just isn't enough and we want to confirm that in fact that transistor is bad, we'll go through the entire column and row to figure out which one is bad by testing the lugs. All right, that's good. That's good. That's good. That one's shorted. We know that the 1, 2, 3, 4, fourth one down is shorted, and the fourth one down is 1, 2, 3, 4. Q58. So that's double confirmation that this bad baby is not good. So let's take this out. Alright, now that we've got all the transistors in there, let's test them to see if they're all the same. Alright. Alright, so this is the one that was bad. Alright. Getting around 600 for all of them. Sweet. Alright, let's get it back on the machine, guys. We are hooked back up to the machine, and I'm not just going to hook up the playfield, guys, because what this board is going to be useful for is really determining if the reason for the short on that transistor was due to the playfield, because I'm negating the playfield from the formula right now. So if this transistor shorts when turning on the machine and it still does what it does, then I know it's not the playfield, because the playfield isn't connected to it. So then we'd have another issue. So if this works completely with this board, but then I hook the playfield up to it and that column goes out again, then I know I've got a short somewhere on my playfield, which I really hope I don't. So let's turn it on and see what we get. Oh, that looks good. That looks really good. I don't have like a really bright column or anything like that. Nice. All right, let's go to the lamp test and see if we still get the same thing. So that is all lamp test. Every column, every row flashing together. It's beautiful. There's no balls in it, so. All right. Whereas before, I would know immediately because these two bulbs, like these two bulbs up here, and as well as up there, would be always on. And there we go, guys. I believe this machine is finally 100% working. Good outro music there. Alright, let's do a pan over of the playfield.
The Titans.